Living abroad is not easy. Sometimes it gets lonely. So out of that loneliness and boredom, I decided to get into dating apps, and the experience has been it has been something else. But I'll be dropping videos sharing my different dating experience, different countries, different dates I've been to. But this particular video is my dating experience with a female Nigerian doctor. She's a successful doctor, no doubt. So let me explain how we actually met. So, like I said, living abroad is not easy. It's always, sometimes you feel bored, sometimes you feel lonely, so you want to like get to meet people. Then my friend, who is a Portuguese guy, said, "Brother, do you have any girlfriend?" I said, "No, not yet." He said, "Okay, I should download an app." He took my phone, he showed me, and downloaded this app. I went into this app, I signed up, then I was trying to match with people. All right. So, in the process of trying to match with people, I was able to match with this Nigerian female doctor. At first, I was not aware that she's a doctor who is doing pretty well for herself. So, we get talking, trying to know each other. Then it got to a point where we talked and talked. She gave me her number. Then we start video, like FaceTiming, video chats, calls, and all of that. She told me what she wants. She's a very intentional person. She's clear right from the onset. Hey, I'm not here to waste nobody's time. This is what I want. S. This. I said, well, it looks like our goals like align together. I'm Nigerian. She's Nigerian. Though she moved abroad when she was little, so the parents moved her abroad. She schooled there, got a job, and built her career from there. Then I said, okay, fine, that our goals align. Let's see what the future holds. Now, mind you, I'm 30 when we met. She's 30. She was turning 31. And I was also turning 31. So we are both on the same age here. So it got to a point that we'll start talking about family goals. What's the plan? Family, okay? We are two different tribes though. I'm Igbo, so she's Yoruba. She was like, okay, what's my family going to say if we finally end up being together? I said, well, my family, they always trust my decisions as long as I'm okay with it. I can put up with it. They are always okay with that. I said, okay, how about you? She said, as long as the man can take care of her, the man makes her happy, the man is a nice, kind man to her, the family will accept her, regardless of where he's from. I said, well, that's actually a good one. So we got talking and everything. Then she asked me a question because in that particular profile, she kind of like listed her criteria. She said, she's AS, all right? That's if you are AS, please don't match with her, all right? In that case, I said, okay, in this, mind you, the dating app is Hinge, all right? So I said, okay, I told her, I was being honest, I'll just be myself because before I met, I've had experiences like awful experiences, which I'll be sharing in this video as well, which in this channel as well. Just stay tuned, subscribe, guys, all right? Then I said, okay, fine, that me, I don't even know my genotype. I told her honestly, I'm in my 30s. I was supposed to check my genotype. That was earlier, like before I moved abroad. But I was having these marriage plans with a particular lady, with a particular girl, I mean to say. But I call them ladies. Of course, they are both 20. So, but the marriage didn't go through. So I end up not checking my genotype. I was like, okay, I'm not getting married right now. I don't need to know my genotype yet. She asked me a question like, okay, what's your genotype? That she's AS, and she doesn't want to waste her time getting to find out that she's with a man who's also AS, who is not compatible with her, because her goal here is for a life partner, building life, and all of that. According to her, her words was that her words were, "I'm not desperate. I'm not like searching, but I just want to meet somebody who we can build something good." I said, okay, me too. I'm not desperate here, but I'm trying to meet somebody where we can work together. Just like they say, two heads is better than one. Someone at least here in Europe, trying to meet somebody that both of you come from the same place. You guys know the values of Africa, values of culture. So having also to come together, also build family here and still train that child based on that same culture and those values is a huge flex for me. All right. So she said, okay, well, that's also a good thing for her. Her family like took her abroad when she was little, trained her, schooled her. She has the values of Africa and everything. I said, okay, that's actually a nice thing here. So we get talking, video call and everything. Mind you, when we met, she just bought a house. She just bought a house. She's well to do, and she's pretty doing well for herself. She planned like a party, like more like a house opening party. Friends from London, from different places came. The house was more like a gift. According to her, she said the house is like a gift to her because her birthday was in a few weeks before she bought the house and did a party and everything. And all these things, I wasn't able to actually go for the house party because I live in Portugal. She lives in Ireland, all right. So it was more like a long distance kind of thing, but the connection, the communication was so strong that we're having this communication. Then it got to a point whereby we decided to have this conversation about finances. Love is good, of course. Understanding is there, values is there, but at least we also need to talk about finances. All right. This is where the whole thing got ugly. When we got to financial part, that was when everything just scattered. Then I asked her a question because I know I'm an African man and Nigerian man for that matter, you know. Of course, you know, when it comes to Africa, there's kind of like there's a mentality, there is always something there about finance, about money. So I asked that question. How do you feel at this current stage now we are? I'm at kind of like a little bit lower than your level, or maybe you're actually up here and I'm here a little bit here. But that doesn't mean I'm not working myself up to the top. She said, well, in relationships, it's not always about money. It's about understanding. Though money is also also a driving force to it. This was our worst when we are first going on. You know, we first had that discussion first time. We didn't go deeper. Then we just kind of like touch a little bit and let it be. Then as time was progressing, I still brought up that same topic again so that we can actually have that conversation in a real way so that we hear from her, know what she's going to say, see her own perspective in the whole thing, like get to see her own view in the whole thing. Now, this is where it got ugly. She asked, okay, her birthday was coming up soon. She was turning 31, and my own birthday was coming up soon. Then she decided to give herself a trip to go and watch a concert in abroad, apart from where she was living. And I said, okay, how about um after going for that concert, I know she can actually afford it. Why not stop by? Because the distance of where she's going and where I am is not far. Why not stop by in Portugal? She said, well, she asked me a question that if she's not going to come to Portugal to see me, to see a man who is not paying for her flight ticket. You know, like if she's going to come to Portugal to see me, I need to pay for the flight ticket. And I need to have a gift ready for her that when she comes, she will be like, wow, that will wow her. These are her words. I said, okay. Then she asked me, where do I live? Who do I live? Do I share a room with somebody or do I have an apartment all to myself? I told her that I live in a shared apartment with different everybody room guys, like roommates with their own rooms. I have my own personal room in apartment of 3 bedroom. She was like, that's a no for her. That she doesn't share apartment. Neither will she come and be in one room where she will share apartment with people. That's a no for her. That is one of the things that I need to see, that the distance between us is too far. Then she moved to the stage of talking about numbers. When I say numbers here, I mean she was like asking, okay, what's your salary per year? And back then, I was just more like doing my first ever job in Europe, you know. My salary for a full year was like 17k euros. That's before taxes here. All right, she was like, okay, after taxes, what are you looking at? I said, probably like 16k. She slapped and said, oh, Mercy, I'm just like asking all this question for you to see that at this point, at this phase, at this point in time in life, we are not at the same level. All right. She said she doesn't want me to feel bad. You know how when you start having conversation whereby someone is upper than you and you are lower and the person is trying to console you, trying to say words whereby that will not make you feel sad. She was saying all those things. I just kept quiet. I said, okay. I said, but should that be what we actually having the conversation now? Shouldn't it be later? I said, no, but we're actually having this conversation now so that it will be good for me to see and understand things. I said, okay. I said, no problem. She said, okay, but I'm actually at the phase of building. Why she actually built her life to a stage whereby she's also building. She's not going to build with any man. She's not going to build any man. This was her words. She's not going to build any man. She's not going to build with any man. Build with any man. That her parents did not train her that way. Her parents worked so hard to get her to the place where to be. She doesn't want to build any man, or rather build any man. All right. Now she told me that I should give myself 2 to 3 years of building myself to a level. Then if by that stage, if by still that after that 2 to 3 years that she's still single, that both of us now can still come back and have these conversations and see if we can be together. All right. This was her words. I said, okay. I said, no problem. But she said, well, I wish you all the best. That was what she said. That was how the communication died. This was all happening around May, early May. That was when this was happening. I said, okay. I just chilled. I looked at the whole things and I'm like, I laughed. I told my friend who was aware, the first conversation, the first call I had with that girl was at my friend's apartment. I went to visit my friend. Then we had a conversation we had more like an introductory conversation of over 1 hour. My friend heard what she said. My friend said, hey, this girl's a smart girl. This girl's a nice girl. Go on with her. Then after that conversation about finances and money, I still went ahead and told my friend that this is whatever happened. My friend was like, man, she wasn't expecting that. He wasn't expecting it. Neither did he see it coming. I said, of course, this is what it is. Now, let me say this. You as a young man out there, be intentional. Ladies are also intentional with whatever they are doing. Ladies, they know what they want and they can't settle for less. You as a man as well, don't settle for less. Look at it this way. If the reverse was the case here, Rabbi, I was doing better than her, right? I will choose her. But in this case now, she's doing better than me. She doesn't want to go less. Then you as a man, don't go for someone you are doing better than. At least someone who is at the same level with you, or both of you guys are working towards a goal that is huge. Both of you guys want to both be up there. Because women, most of the times, they don't settle for less. They don't settle for less. I've had experiences, I've had experiences so well here, living in Portugal, then to me now, I see going on date as more like having experience. To me, personally, right now, just go on dating app, trying to meet people. But there's no intention of trying to find love or find relationship or build anything serious. I'm just looking at to build experience, to build stories, to get to know people, to see the kind of mindset people do have. And I've accumulated a lot. I've been to date with Switzerland, Swedish, Germans, Russians, Brazilians, Portuguese. A lot of these people, I've been to date all these people and I've seen so much. All right. What I would say is you as a man, be intentional. Do not settle for less. You see the way people always criticize gay or gay and all of that. Most of those things that guy is saying is for real. I could remember 2018 back then in Nigeria. A girl once told me and said, hey, you go and do blood money. You're an Igbo guy. Or other guys are doing it. Go and make money. That love is expensive and that you can't pay for love. I don't have money because she asked me for money to make her hair. Back then, I don't have. She said, you look at you are poor. She insulted him to the extent whereby I went to bed that night. I cried on one corner of my bed. I cried based on my situation. Then I chilled. After like 2 to 3 years, when I was doing pretty well for myself, now I'm a man. I'm doing pretty well for myself. I've made money to a level. Some girl saw me. I was like, you've forgotten about me. You're doing well now. And I'm like, oh, you that said love is expensive. I can't pay for love, right? That I don't have money. I should go and do blood money. It's them person now telling me that I've forgotten about you. I should go and take her out on a date. I should do this one, do this one. I was like, I was like, what do you mean? Now, I was just like more inside me saying all these things and why I was like staring at her. When I had nothing, you were not there. Now that I've had something, you want me to bring you in? It doesn't work that way. If I do, that means I'm a fool. What am I trying to say in essence, men? Be intentional. The way ladies are just banking on guys who have this or who have that, or maybe trying to see where they can elevate themselves. Don't be that person. All right? Be yourself. If you want to date, Be intentional. Make sure that whoever you're meeting is on the same level with you, or both of you share the same goal. Both of you guys are working towards something, and you know the level that both of you are. If she's less, just know that if the reverse was the case, she will never go for you. I've had this experiences so many times. This is just one of my experiences here in Portugal, sharing this to you guys. For people who live abroad, I know you guys have actually maybe seen more or seen worse. Or I don't know maybe if you've actually experienced this as well, but this is just me sharing my own experience living here in Portugal. There's still more to it, which I'll be dropping video after video, sharing different things to let you know that it's not really easy out there. It's not easy out there. And most times it's good to have these experiences, It's kind of like it will be kind of like more like a driving force. It will be more like a guide to you. Recently I went on a date and I sat with this girl. Mind you, I'm somebody that likes older women. Like I like older girls. Most of my relationships are all with girls who are older than me. They are 7 years older than me, 5 years, 7 years, sometimes 10 years older than me. I like to sit with mature mind. I was on this recent date with a girl, and I just sat and looked at her. I was just listening to her, what she was saying. Me now, when I go to date, I'm more like the listener. I just ask questions. I'm just listening to you to wait for you to talk. Then after the whole talk, then I will just pay for whatever we eat, and I will tell you, well, I will talk to you later, and that will be the end. All right. This is just more like me trying to get to and experience things. It's not even about trying to find something, maybe trying to find something meaningful. No, it's about experience, accumulating experience, trying to have. To me, I feel like this experience is what builds you, it's what drives you, it's what makes you who you are. You know, so when it comes times of maybe trials or whatever, you know that, man, this is has nothing to do with what I've actually experienced. All right. So one thing I want to take away from this video as a young woman watching this video is be intentional, because ladies, women, they are intentional. Like I remember having a conversation with one of my friends. He said, women are one of the people that women are so mean. Probably not all of them. I've seen women that are nice. I know my friend who got married to a nice woman. I must say he's very lucky. But some women, they are so mean. They are so mean that when they try to do things, they don't look back. They don't look back at all. I will share a story about how a particular girl lost a good opportunity with my friend. And I'm so, like, when it didn't happen, I was like, I just hope she finds someone better. Or maybe she was able to get an opportunity like this or learn from it. Because you only have one chance. And if you miss that chance, it takes the grace of God to have a second chance. All right, guys, if you found this helpful, maybe watch up to this point. Tell me what to think. Comment if you've been here, like you've been at this stage, probably experienced worst. Share your thoughts with me as well. And subscribe to the channel. This is me on Marcel, right? I'm just more like sharing my thoughts and my experience here. I'm not hiding anything from you guys. Just more like me documenting my journey, sharing on my experiences living here abroad, and also before I moved abroad. All right. And I'll see you guys on the next one, guys. All right. So all I just ask from you is subscribe, support the movement, comment, share your thought, and I will respond to you ASAP. See you soon. Bye.